Welcome to Two Travel Dads Podcast. Here we share our favorite destinations, travel tips, ideas for saving money, and stories from our adventures. Be sure to check out our show notes at twotraveldads.com/podcast-episodes. Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Two Travel Dads Podcast. I'm Rob.
And I am Chris.
And between recording episodes, we just tried these awful ghost pepper chips, and
Pocky, I think was the brand.
I don't know.
Ooh.
We're not going to give a full review, but my nose is running and my lips are on fire.
What a great challenge those chips are.
And that brings us to Pixar Pier, where we're going to talk about everything, including Angry Dogs, which is spicy hot dogs available in Disney's California Adventure. Actually, you know what? Why don't we start with Pixar Pier? So our last episode was all about Disneyland and just kind of going land by land, attraction by attraction, talking about what we loved, what we would wait for, what we wouldn't, all that stuff. Sorry, my mouth is still like really spicy.
It's really spicy.
If it's too much, then we're going to cut this and record something new. But okay, we're just going to go with it for now. Woo. Disney's California Adventure. I'm going to start with a nice little story. Spring Break 2001. Actually, no, what am I saying? Spring Break 2000. I got to drive down to Disneyland in our minivan, just me and my buddy, and that's what we did.
That's not me. He's talking.
No.
This is like we haven't known each other that long.
Yeah, no. This is like I'm still in high school, and I got to do this for like a spring break, like senior trip sort of thing. And we drove down to Disneyland when it was just Disneyland. And my friend Danny had never been, so we were like, oh, this is going to be so much fun. And we get there, and we see that they're building this whole other theme park. We had no clue what was going on, and it was back before Disney actually really shared anything because they like didn't necessarily want to engage everybody with Imagineering and all that. So it's not like it was a secret, but it's not like there was all the information about what it was going to be and all this. All we knew is that it was going to be something called California Adventure. And it was just being built, whatever. And then I got to go back 2 years later after it opened, and I was like, this is the lamest park ever. Like, the rides weren't nothing I was like into. It was nothing great. And then fast forward, they did some updates, redid a couple of things, added some new stuff, and now there are times when I prefer California Adventure to Disneyland.
California Adventure is awesome.
It's an amazing theme park. It didn't start out as such, and now I've got to say it is one of the coolest theme parks I've been to. I love it. What's your favorite land? And then we can start there.
You know, I think my favorite land is Cars Land. It is impressive.
It's
it is
magical.
themed so well. The blacktop, the neon, just the look and feel that you're, in Middle America.
On Route 66.
On Route 66. The theming is just really great.
It is like snap out of time. If you're there at sunset as the neons are turning on, it's even more magical.
It's so cool. Flo's Cafes. Just
oh my gosh,
awesome. The cone. What's it called? The cone.
The Cozy
Hotel?
Cone.
Cozy Cone. That's right. The Cozy Cone. It's just super cool. And the rides.
Yeah.
The
oh my gosh, yeah. The rides are super fun, and there's more than just one. Like there's, of course, the big attraction ride is the Radiator Springs Racers.
It's so cool.
Oh my gosh, it's so much fun. I tricked Elliot into going on it, and he loved it. There was one point where he did a good scream, not quite his Indiana Jones scream, because nothing will ever top that, but. Yeah, super duper fun where you get to race another Lightning McQueen style car, and yeah, really cool technology with that one too.
Yeah.
But and then oh gosh, what else is there? There's the Luigi's Rollickin' Roadsters.
That is so much fun too.
I love it.
It's dancing cars.
Yeah, they're dancing cars and they're not on a track, so it's an independently moving vehicle, and they do choreographed. It's funny, there are all these little Fiats, and they're doing these choreographed dances to like 60s mobsters Italian music. I love it. And then what's the third attraction?
It's the tractors.
Oh yeah, Mater's Junkyard Jamboree.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Gosh, the boys love that.
It reminds me of a
Makes me want to
scrambler,
vomit.
but kind of in a tractor instead. But it's super cool. I think it's a blast.
Yeah, it's not as dizzying as other things, but you know,
No, you slide back and forth in your seat, and you're just there's some cool G forces that hit you. I feel
yeah,
like.
the kids love it. You know, I love it too. It's true. It's fun. But yeah, so that's Cars Land. It's pretty awesome. The Cozy Cone has some great snacks. It's a good like little kind of snack vendor hub for things like popcorn, cotton candy. We did ice cream. We did one that was called the Junkyard this year, which you would not have liked it. It was chocolate and vanilla swirl covered in fruity pebbles and sprinkles and ground up Oreos and graham crackers and all kinds of stuff. It was weird. Oliver thought it was amazing. It was not
Got it.
what I would get, but he loved it.
I'm just a fan of everything but the Ben and Jerry's.
Yeah. I don't know what that is.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. It has like chunks of toffee and white chocolate and
Well, that sounds better than
Vanilla
mixing
ice
fruit
cream.
and chocolate ice cream. Good times. Anyway, so yeah, Cars Land, pretty awesome. It's beautiful. Good food options. Love it. The kids love it. Great. Moving on from there, though, but keeping with the Pixar theme, you walk out of Cars Land and you head through the Pacific Wharf area. That's kind of another food place. There's lots of food in California Adventure. So you head through Pacific Wharf over to Pixar Pier. Used to be the Paradise Pier area. Upon first look, it's kind of like the Santa Monica Pier, anything where you kind of have that boardwalk atmosphere. But it's all Pixar. So there is
Incredicoaster,
the Incredicoaster is amazing.
Toy Story Mania.
Toy Story Mania, yeah, the Midway Mania is awesome. The Emotional Whirlwind, again, is one of those rides that makes you want to get sick. That's the Inside Out themed
Yeah.
spinny ride. I gotta say, though, I miss when there used to be the Maliboomer. What was that?
Maliboomer.
Maliboomer, and it would shoot you up into the air. I loved that. But the kids really enjoyed the Emotional Whirlwind, and as you wait in line and you listen to all the Inside Out characters talk about safety, it's really hilarious, especially when Sadness starts talking about being careful with your kids and them growing up so fast, and like her whole safety pitch while you're in line, it's heartbreaking. You missed it. It was
I
really
did.
funny. But no, so what's your favorite thing on Pixar Pier? Is it the Incredicoaster or Toy Story Mania?
Oh, it's totally the Incredicoaster. The Toy Story Mania, I love that the kids love it, but it's
Elliot
not.
really loves it. He's
He
so proud
does.
of his skills.
It's not exciting for me. You're just sitting around in a thing like just pulling a string.
Yeah, and just like you're shooting things like a midway
Yeah,
games.
it's cool. I mean, yeah.
The effects are amazing.
The effects are super cool. I mean, yeah, I'll give you that. But for me, it's just kind of. I mean, it's fun with the kids because I'm like, oh, I'll battle you. I'll see if I can get the high score. I'm more about like put me on the Incredicoaster.
Yeah, and we were really fortunate on this last trip because we both got to go with Oliver on the Incredicoaster.
He wanted to go.
He wanted to go. He was tall enough. He was brave enough, and he went. He got to sit in the very back and in the very front and get both of those experiences.
Yeah.
He was so proud of himself for doing the loop-de-loop.
I am bummed though he never got to experience California Screamin' because
I love California
I actually
Screamin'.
prefer it to the Incredicoaster.
Yeah.
I miss the music. While I
The
was on
music
that
of
ride.
California Screaming was
It's perfect. It
amazing.
went just to the whole entire, track of the ride.
It completely added
Oh,
to the roller
awesome.
coaster experience. But the upgrades to the Incredicoaster
That's cool.
with like giving it a storyline of finding Jack and everything going crazy, I do love that. It's super cute. But you're right. The music of
I miss the
California
music.
Screamin' was important.
Yeah.
And you know what? Kind of as we transition around the parks, I forgot to do it with Cars Land. So let's take a quick step back. Thinking about things like Radiator Springs Racers, how long do you think you would wait for that? Like, what would you say that's worth a wait for?
40 minutes.
I was going to say 45. So, yeah, we're definitely aligned in that. You'll see, like, from early on in the day, it has, like, a 65-minute wait.
Oh,
I don't think it's worth a 65-minute wait. If this is your one chance to do it, totally,
Sure.
if it's important to you, do it. I'd wait up to 45 minutes for it if it's not a sweltering day. And if I've already done other stuff. But in general, I think a 30-minute wait is ideal for it. It's really cool, but yeah. So that was the wait for the Cars Land or for Radiator Springs Racers. For Incredicoaster, I would also wait about a half hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, for even 40 minutes, actually think it goes by fairly quickly. Like when Oliver and I went on, I think it was a 45-minute wait, but it went by really fast. I don't feel like we actually waited 45 minutes.
Yeah, and then Toy Story Mania also gets, or Midway Mania gets
A 20-minute wait.
yeah, I'd give it a 20-minute wait. I'd give it a 20-minute wait also.
I mean, we
It
used
gets
the
a
fast
queue
pass
up.
for us just because
Yeah.
we wanted to make sure the kids got to go on it.
Yeah.
But
it develops a queue really early. So early in the day, it's got like a 65-minute wait. And personally, maybe it's because we've done it a few times, but I don't think it's worth it.
no, I just don't. I think it's a boring ride. But
Yeah.
again, that's just because I like coasters.
Yeah, and it's funny. So we were just getting ready to like move out of the Pixar Pier area, and I realized we didn't talk about Mickey's Fun Wheel.
I know. I was going to make sure you did talk about it because it actually is a fun wheel.
So
I enjoy
do you
it.
prefer
It's
the stationary Ferris wheel car or the rocking?
the rocking car. No, stationary gun's boring. Sure, if you just want a boring Ferris wheel ride,
So how does the rocking Ferris wheel car work?
it rocks.
So
No, as you're going around, I mean, it rocks like back and forth. So it makes just for a really fun experience, and it gets your tummy a couple times.
yeah, so half of the like gondola cars on the Mickey's Fun Wheel are stationary, meaning that as the wheel turns, they just kind of
Or stationary.
they turn with it. But the rocking ones are on an oblong track so that as they reach a certain high point of like when gravity hits, all of a sudden they will drop down their rounded track and swing back and forth. And it happens at the top of the carrot of
Yeah,
the
it's a lot
Ferris
of fun.
wheel, and it happens at like the bottom third and on both sides. And yeah, if you're into that, it's fun. Otherwise, for some reason, for me, it's actually that's one of the scarier rides. I don't know why. But as you leave the Pixar Pier area, I wanted to call out some great dining that we just discovered. It's the Paradise Garden Grill. It's set off away from the Paradise Pier area. Like if you don't know to look for it, you'll probably walk past it. But it's nestled between the Silly Symphony Swings and Goofy Sky School. It's really great. It's just good value meals that aren't like long lines or anything like that. You kind of walk up and it's already plated for you. And
So yeah, in terms of value meals, it's pizza, pasta, salads.
it's
Right,
it's
so-
like
and it's like
simple
you
Italian.
Yeah, but I mean, like you walk up and it's already there and you just grab it versus like placing your order and going up and waiting for your order. This stuff is already like pre-made and it's fresh. It's not like it's sitting under a heat lamp for a long time. I mean, I had a really good sun-dried tomato chicken pasta that had some veggies and stuff in
And I
there.
had a 4-cheese ravioli
You had
with
a
pesto.
Yeah,
It was
that was really
delicious.
delicious. And those were each like $10.99 or something. Like it
And then
wasn't
the
outrageous.
kid meal options were great too, with lots of they each had like fruit and yogurt
Yeah.
sides and
bonus, there's a beer garden right there. So
and there's beer.
yeah, that I think actually so it leads me to the point that is the one big difference also between Disneyland and California Adventure is in California Adventure there are several places for you to get beer,
Or wine.
or well, there's not several places to get wine, is there?
Yeah,
Oh,
totally.
I only knew of like one place to get wine.
Yeah, there's a couple.
Huh.
True story.
Well, I've seen
And
several
even
for beer.
cocktails.
Okay.
Yeah, at the Lamplighter. Remember, we got to go down.
Well,
to the
I did
Lamplighter?
want to make sure that is the Lamplighter the place right there, the Pixar Pier.
Yeah, it used to be Ariel's Grotto.
That's right. Okay, yeah, I was gonna make sure that we came back to that place because there is some good food there, and some really fun cocktails.
Oh, that's right. We had those delicious deviled eggs.
Uh-huh.
It's the
Yeah.
only time I've ever gotten deviled eggs in a restaurant and been like, what?
Oh, yeah, no, those were delicious.
And really
Just-
great cocktails and such a
Mm-hmm.
cool.
It's just a cool venue.
Yeah, it's a really cool venue. It's right on the lagoon, and there's animation drawings everywhere, and everything about it is great. So, and that's on the opposite end of the lagoon. It's still in the Pixar Pier area. But yeah, that's not going to be like your walk up value dining.
Oh,
That's going to be
no.
your sit down dinner. I'm in Disneyland. I want to have a nice meal and a nice cocktail.
Yeah.
So I think it's totally worth it too. It's great. So if you can get a reservation, do it. Um, moving on, rating attractions and stuff like that. Another thing that somehow we have been just skipping over this for years. Goofy Sky School. It's would you call it a roller coaster? What would you call it?
Totally call it a roller
Yeah.
coaster. Yeah. it's
Yeah, I
it's
guess
got
yeah.
carts on a roller coaster track. No, it's and because I remember we did it, a long time ago
Oh, when
when
it was Mulholland Madness.
I think so. Yeah, and it was just really, I mean, it and still is. You gotta. It's kind of
Whips your
it's as
neck.
aggressive as the Matterhorn.
Yeah.
But
Or more so.
right, but yeah, the kids loved it.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And because it's still fast, it doesn't look scary. And of course it's a goofy themed ride. So, but yeah, they really enjoyed it. It's just got some really tight U-turns and
And it
some
starts
fun
by shooting you up
dips.
into the air on the track so that you could just kind of start like, oh my gosh. And then from there, it can only get better.
Yeah, it's just a very tight coaster. But again, it is perfect for kids.
And
They
it does
really
tend
love
to
that.
also have a longer wait because
Yeah.
the cars only hold 4 people and there's not a ton of cars on the
Mm-hmm.
tracks. So even if the line doesn't look very long, it still probably has like a 45-minute wait or so. I think it's worth a half an hour wait, totally.
Yeah, I'd say half hour wait's
And
good.
you can get a fast pass for
Your
it too
kids,
if you want
because the
to.
kids are gonna like it,
Oh yeah, the kids absolutely loved it. So I think it's worth waiting for.
and I
So
take them on that instead of the swings.
oh gosh, I can't do the silly symphony swings. Or that golden zephyr.
Oh,
Oh,
the Zephyr looks so cool though.
it does. It's a vintage
Awesome.
Zeppelin ride, but oh man.
Yeah.
I I can't do spinny anymore. I feel like we talk about that a lot. And moving on from there, when you leave the whole Pixar and Paradise Pier area, one of the things that you come across is the Little Mermaid. Super cute. It's in what used to be the Golden Dreams, which was this really interesting, cheesy movie about the history of California, starring Whoopi Goldberg. But it's no longer there, and it's now the Little Mermaid ride, which is cute.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, it's your standard, basically like Fantasyland style ride.
Exactly.
But the animatronics in it are really cool, and I think that it is a really fun ride.
Yeah, kids enjoy it.
Well, even though Elliot is still scared of the eels, I don't know why. Every time he sees the eels, no.
Flotsam and Jetsam.
Yeah. All right. So that covers. We're looking at a map as we go through this. So that covers Cars Land. We talked a little bit about Pacific Wharf, where you can get food, and there's a beer truck there. The Lamplighter at Pixar Pier and all the attractions at Pixar Pier. Grizzly Peak and the Condor Flats area. There's some cool stuff here. One of the things that it was actually, I think, maybe the first thing that we hit when we came in on this last trip was the I'm blanking on what it's called.
Grizzly Rapids?
No, what's it called? Redwood Creek Challenge Trail. That's what it's called. I don't know why I can never remember that.
The cool part.
Yeah, it's like a cool obstacle course, ropes course type thing for kids. Ideally for kids 12 and under. It's got some cool zip lines called the smoke jumpers. It's got rope bridges. There's slides. There's rock walls to climb with rubberized mats underneath them. It's great. A great way for kids to burn some energy. And also, we saw Chip and Dale hanging out there too.
Oh, you did? That's cool.
Yeah, totally. So, you go run wild, play on the playground, and then Chip and Dale greet you. So, yeah, it's easy to walk past. You'll see there's a big statue of Coda and Kenai, the bears, right out
Oh.
front. Yeah. And then just go in and parents can relax and kids can go crazy, which is great. And right next to it is the Grizzly Peak area, which is where you find the Grizzly River Run, which is awesome. What do you like about the Grizzly River Run? How long would you wait for it?
It depends on
On a hot day.
I was gonna say it depends on how hot it is outside.
On a hot day, how long would you wait for it?
I would wait 35 minutes
Yeah. And I think on a cold day, I would wait 15.
tops.
Yeah. Yeah, because you do really get wet.
Yeah, it's a super fun ride though. I really enjoy it, and I think that they made some changes to it to make it kind of faster and more spinny.
It's definitely more spinny than I remember. Maybe it's just that we're getting older.
No,
You think it's really more spinny?
yep.
Okay. Maybe. It's definitely, I got more wet this time than I ever have previously. So I know there's different things like water level and how many people are in your
Hmm.
boat and how heavy your boat is that impact all that. But man, I got more wet this time than ever before.
Yeah, but it's such a fun ride, and the fact that kids enjoy it. I mean, you never know when you're gonna get
If
splashed.
you're wearing shorts and you're doing the Grizzly River run, you might get a little bit surprised because they've actually got these little vents in the floor that, depending on how you hit the water, they spray water up underneath your legs. So heads up, you know, you're gonna get wet one way or another. And I think it's awesome, and the kids loved it. I would totally wait on a hot day at least a half hour. Totally. Another thing that's in that area that I think is really cool is Soarin' Over the World. So it's you also can find this ride in Disney World, and it used to be Soarin' Over California, where you'd go and you'd sit in this, I don't know, what would you call it, just like
A
a,
chair.
a chair. You sit in a chair that you buckle into, and then it lifts you up off the ground, and it is an incredible IMAX presentation where the chairs tilt and there's wind and there's smells, and it just takes you all over the place. I love it. The kids love it. Um, Again, I'd wait 20 minutes for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. On a hot day, there's lots of good air conditioning inside. I'd wait 40. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So now it's soaring over the world, so it does take you all around the world, ending in Disneyland, which is cool. When it was soaring over California, it took you all over California, including like orange groves, golf courses, river rafting, all that stuff. But now it is more international and just as cool. So, and that kind of wraps up everything in that part of the park. There's, there's so much more going on in the Hollywood section than I realized before. So, what's your favorite thing when you're on Hollywood Boulevard, Hollywood Land, walking down?
Walking down, or when you get to the Gardens of the Galaxy.
Well, okay, we can go to that end. I was going to save that so we could also talk about Avengers Campus.
I don't know anything about Adventures
Oh,
Campus.
good. Well, I'll tell you about it.
But I think Hollywoodland, if I were to branch off and head in to go see uh oh my gosh, what's his name? The Turtle Talk
Turtle Talk with Crush.
with Crush.
Yeah.
Crush's Turtle Talk. That is amazing.
Yeah. So as you're walking down Hollywood Boulevard, it's pretty cool. It's like vintage LA. So that in itself is neat. And at the end of it, there's the big blue sky set. But there's an area that's all about animation. And within that, you've got Turtle Talk with Crush that is this fully interactive.
I don't know how they do it. It is magical.
It's magical. There's
There is
not that I
Crush.
want to spoil Disney magic, but I'm sure there is an amazing actor who is the one doing everything.
Yeah,
It
yeah, yeah.
can't be
He's
technology.
like has the voice of Crush, so like and
Chaw.
but yeah, but he sounds just like Crush, and he interacts with the audience, and it's all like, you see it all on a screen, so of course it's just all animation, but it is really cool how they interact with the audience and ask questions of kids and respond, and it's just a really great interactive experience.
And there's a healthy level of sarcasm that goes through the entire thing.
Oh, it's great.
I love it.
Each experience is unique, and I think that's what's amazing about it.
Yeah,
I mean, each time like we've done it, they've asked our kids questions, us Oliver questions and Elliot questions, and this last time it was really funny because they asked him what like he likes to eat, what his favorite food was, and Elliot's like bacon. He's like, yeah, it's awesome.
Bacon.
Yeah,
Yeah, and Turtle Talk
Chaw.
Chaw, dude. Turtle Talk is also something you can find in Epcot if you're going to Disney World, and it's super cool. It's right by the Nemo ride in Epcot, and it's also if you're going to Disney World, Mike and Sully's laugh floor is the same sort of thing. It has that same sort of interaction, stand-up comedy sort of thing that with characters. It's really cool. But in that same little complex with Turtle Talk, you also have the Animation Academy, which we did for the first time this year, and it was super cool. It was a little bit emotional. So you go in and you get to kind of hear about a little bit about
Well,
animation and
yeah,
drawing
yeah.
characters, and somebody guides you through drawing a character. I'm trying to think who
We drew. Yeah, the objective is to learn how to draw a character, and we
just like the
learn how to draw
basics of
Piglet. Yeah,
structure. Yeah.
the basics, right? So we drew Piglet's head for the most part,
Yeah.
right? And so they kind of guide you through the process, and everybody has a piece of paper and their pencil, and everybody's doing their version, and Oliver is a perfectionist, and he was not happy with the results that he had.
He did really well. He did so much better than me at following the instruction, but it just,
He just wasn't happy with his results.
but you know, it is what it is. But
Hmm.
the thing that made that whole experience, even though it was emotional and there was some tears, the thing that made the experience so great though was the animator came over afterwards. Like she saw what was going on and she talked to him about the difficulties of animation and perfection and all of that stuff, and tried to comfort him and talked about what she does, and it was really cool. She was one of the kindest cast members I've ever met.
It was great.
It
He
was
wasn't
wonderful.
having any of it.
Oh, he had nothing. He did not want to hear anything
But
she had to say.
she was super kind.
Yeah,
And Elliot had a blast,
yeah. I don't know what he drew.
but he loved
He
every
loved
moment
it.
of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's a really cool sort of thing right there. And you know what? That's something that I would also wait for, because there's limited seats in each Animation Academy class. I would totally wait to go through
It
it.
was fun. Yeah, I really enjoyed drawing Piglet.
Yeah, totally. Um, there's some other stuff in there too. There's like the Beauty and the Beast library and stuff, but
Yeah.
I don't think it's all that awesome.
No.
And you can meet Anna and Elsa there.
Oh, okay.
But yeah. Um, the Monsters Inc. ride is also something that's
I
in
love that
Hollywoodland.
ride.
Love it. Super cool.
It's just fun because I love Monsters Inc. and it's just got a cool story going through that ride.
Yeah, and because that's another one of those. It's a Pixar film, so it's all the CGI, and when you're watching the movie, the effects of like the fur and like reptile scales and stuff is really cool and lifelike. And then you go on this Monsters Inc. ride and you see it, in motion in front of you in real life, and it looks exactly the same as what it does in this CGI film, and I think that's amazing. So from like the adult watching it, super duper cool. Um, and then one other big attraction, and then we can talk about Guardians, is superheroes and stuff. So there, we got to run into Spider-Man. We were walking over to meet Captain America, and we didn't get to, but then Spider-Man rolled out, and it was really special. So, gosh, of all the people I've seen there, I've seen Black Widow, Spider-Man, um, Captain America.
Marvel. Oh,
Well, see, I didn't even see Captain Marvel.
we did.
Yeah.
It was right behind Captain America.
Yeah, so and you've got all these Marvel characters that hang out, and I've seen Gamora,
Okay.
and then we saw Groot this last time outside of Guardians.
That's right. We did.
It was cool. So yeah, you never know what sort of who you're gonna meet on the back lot there in the Hollywoodland area, which then guides you to Guardians of the Galaxy, which used to be the Hollywood Tower Hotel. Tower of Terror was the best ride ever, but now it's Guardians Mission Breakout. What'd you think of the update to it?
Oh, it was so much better than Tower of Terror.
Really?
Yeah, I thought so. I felt like the drop sequence was cooler. I liked the displays at each of the levels. I thought the theming inside was super cool. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was better than Tower of Terror.
Yeah. I still like Tower of Terror more. But so we got to do Mission Breakout this week. When Elliot and I were there in October, they did for Halloween. They had this monster version that I felt like it was a lot more intense. Like the music was a lot more intense and louder, and the monster as it was like attacking and like you're trying to save Groot, it was really intense. But the regular Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, I think was awesome. We waited 40 minutes for it. I would totally wait 40 minutes for it again. It's worth it. If you can get a fast pass, do it. I might even wait up to an hour for it. It's one of the few rides where I would totally do that.
Yeah, well, I think Oliver and I waited like 60 minutes for Space Mountain.
Yeah, you might have. I don't remember what Ellie and I were doing. Oh, we were doing, what you call it, Nemo.
Oh, you did Nemo, yeah.
Yeah, a couple times. But yeah, so that is Guardians. I think it's awesome. I think it's one of the best rides in Disney. And it is sidled up next to the new Marvel Avengers campus. There used to be Bugland, which I love Bugland. It was such a cool area. It was themed after a bug's life, and you felt like you were this tiny little bug walking into these enormous clovers, and there was animal cracker boxes. But that's all gone because now it's basically turning into Shield headquarters, and it is going to be opening this summer 2020, and it's going to be awesome. There's going to be some cool attractions there, the opportunity to meet all kinds of Marvel characters. Disney Parks released a really cool video of the animatronic Spider-Man that they have created that swings on webs above the crowd of the Avengers campus. It looks absolutely incredible. So, I wish that I had all the information about what was coming, but hopefully we'll get to go back and visit sooner than later. But it looks awesome, and I can't wait. Is there anything else you want to talk about with California Adventure?
I think one of the most surprising things about California Adventure that we learned this last time was how amazing World of Color is.
I totally forgot about World of Color.
It is so much better than Fantasmic.
Oh my gosh.
The music was amazing. The show was amazing. It was breathtaking.
The light effects on the water that made it
so cool.
Yeah, there's this one effect where I don't know if it was a combination of lasers shooting across different planes or whatever, but it made water look like floating diamonds.
It was so beautiful.
I've never seen anything like it. It was absolutely amazing, and some of the effects, especially like the segment where the house is lifted up by balloons from the movie Up.
That was cool.
That was amazing, and then
Little Mermaid scenes, I thought, where
oh
it
my
made
gosh,
it look like
the
it was
waves.
the ocean, and the waves was so cool.
Yeah, we were blown out of the water with World of Color, and I loved it that it was nothing about it had any element of fear or mystery, which our kids are pretty sensitive to that sometimes. And it was remarkable. It was really wonderful. We were staying at the Grand Californian Hotel on this trip, so exiting after the World Color was super easy. You don't have to really fight crowds. You just kind of go with the flow and exit into your hotel, which was wonderful because it's the last thing that happens in California Adventure each day. So again, weather dependent, kind of like Fantasmic or the fireworks. But man, if you can swing it, do it. Keep your kids up extra late. So
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
I think that covers everything. Yeah. There's no other parades or anything going on right now. I wish we could talk about the Pixar Play Parade because that's like the best parade ever, but
it really is.
That's it for now. So, as we go back, I'm sure we're going to get to experience Avengers Campus sometime soon. We'll record an episode about what we find. But yeah, in the meantime, thanks for hanging out. If you have any questions, always feel free to leave a comment on the blog. Leave us a review, whatever you want. And then, I guess we'll just talk to you later.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Bye. Two Travel Dads podcast is written by Rob and Chris Taylor and produced by Rob Taylor in Suquamish, Washington. If you would like to be on Two Travel Dads podcast or sponsor it, please visit us at twotraveldads.com/work.